Hello, children. This is Mrs. Franklin. Today, for story time, we are visiting Saguaro National Park. We are out here to visit and look at all of the beautiful saguaros and see what we can discover. Saguaro National Park is located south of Gila River Indian Community and just a little north of Tucson and very close to the Tohono O'odham Nation. And today we're walking through the cactus garden so that you can see the saguaros, including, I think, we just had a saguaro fruit fall off of this young saguaro right here. The fruit was just there, and now it is here. It is here on the ground. Can you see this? There's the fruit. And this just fell off as we were walking on the path. And here are the seeds. Remember we said that the seeds grow inside of the fruit? And then when the birds or little animals eat them, some of the seeds don't get digested and they pop off. And then they can become the new plants. Wasn't that exciting to have that happen just as we walked down the path? That was quite a surprise, wasn't it? It was right up there. Now, as we walk back over to our book for our second chapter, this is the visitor center. If you and your family are ever down this way, you might want to stop and visit. They have different exhibits where you can learn about all of the plants and the animals that live here. And I was hoping we might see, there's an ocotillo, and here's a cholla. Some of our families like to pick cholla buds and prepare those. They're very good to eat. But you can see this cholla is starting to make its flower. It's made its flower and now it's making its fruit. Yeah. All right. Well, and you can see the saguaro forest as we walk back over to where our book is. And this is the rest of the visitor center. You can see that there are many, many saguaros of different sizes and different ages that grow here. And I think I just heard a hummingbird, but I don't know. So again, we are at Saguaro National Park, and we are reading our book today. Let's make sure. Desert Giant by Barbara Bash. Yes, in our previous chapter, the one before this one, we talked about how big a saguaro can become, more than 50 feet tall, at weighing several tons, and that they can live to be, do you remember? That's right, 200 years old. My goodness. So here's today's page. Do you have any birds that look like this at your house? That bird is called a Gila woodpecker. And that's the dad. Here's the mom. And look, they have a nest with a hole in the saguaro where they put the baby birds. and that is called a saguaro boot. It becomes a scar inside of the saguaro. Now, there is another sound. Tap, tap, tap. The holes you see in the saguaro trunk are made by the carpenter bird, the Gila woodpecker. In the spring, the male pecks deeply into the soft flesh of the cactus to make a room for his mate's eggs to hatch. And we just saw that. The saguaro flesh forms a hard, calloused lining around the nest. When the cactus dies and decomposes, these hollow forms are left behind on the ground. They are called saguaro boots by the Indians, or the indigenous people, who use them as food containers. Wow. So that's the Gila woodpecker. When the Gila woodpecker moves out of its nest, the elf owl moves in. This is the tiniest owl in the world, measuring just 5 inches long. The elf owl is nocturnal, hunting for small insects, centipedes, and scorpions at night, and sleeping in the nest during the day. Because of the thick lining and the moisture stored in the saguaro's flesh, the nest stays cool even on the hottest days. Oh, this is one of my favorites. I think you've probably seen this one. Harris hawks are the largest birds to make their homes in the saguaro. They raise their young in nests of twigs lined with leaves and grasses. Living in cooperative societies, much like wolves, up to 4 hawks can inhabit the same territory. Sometimes the hawks use each other as perches. As many as 3 birds have been seen stacked on top of a saguaro. This is called backstanding. Here we go. Here's a picture of them doing it. Isn't that funny? I wonder why they do that. What do you think? Why do you think they might need to stand on top of a saguaro and then make themselves even taller? Why do you think that could happen? All right. Well, I hope you've enjoyed time today from Saguaro National Park, and I hope you'll join me for the next part of our story when we start looking at pollinators. I know pollinators are one of my favorites, and I know they are yours too. All right, children, bye, and we'll see you on our next story time.